Woo! All right. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic video. This is going to be a very special series. This is something I wanted to do last year or 2 years ago, but I kind of ran out of time and it just fell to the back of the brain. But I'm going to be doing a 2022 Supercross series prediction. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. I'm going to try to be rocking dirt bike, Supercross type apparel for this whole series. And this still smells like campfire, which is terrible because I haven't ridden in a while. So I don't know why I haven't watched this yet, but we're rocking it, guys. So let's jump into this real quick. I got to plug myself real fast because, guys, we are so close to 500 subscribers right now. Let me see what we're at. We are I think 10 subscribers away from reaching my goal at the end of the year. I want to hit 500 subscribers before January 1st, which is a month and a week away. We need 11 subscribers, guys. 11 subscribers, and we will hit that goal. And we only need to do that in a month and a week. We can do it, guys. So let your friends know about the channel. Subscribe if you're not, because we got a lot of great videos coming out in this 1 month alone. Let's get into the video real quick. So the series, I'm going to be breaking down basically the main players for the 450 class here, since that's the one that most people go to watch and care about. And honestly, I don't know too much about the 250 class since it's seeming to always be changing. So we're going to be focusing on 450, and we're going to be dissecting, the main riders for each team. And I know some of these videos can be very daunting when you see that they're like 25 minutes plus or something. So I've decided to make this a series instead of one long video. Each episode, we're going to be going over a different team. And today's team, we are going to be starting with Red Bull KTM. Now, speaking for the series overall, when I wanted to originally do this video like a year or two ago, like I said, it was very predictable. It was a lot more predictable and really easy. I was mainly focusing on the main three riders, Ken Roczen, Webb, and Eli Tomac. And my predictions, I think, shook out pretty on point. So this season, this is going to be a rough, bumpy ride for this series, guys. I can't put my finger on anything right now, honestly. And that's due to a mix of new riders coming into the 450 class, a bunch of riders changing teams, and a few other factors, coming out of COVID, all kinds of stuff, new bikes coming out. Now, one team that I will not be talking about in this series is going to be the Twisted Tea Suzuki team, because, come on, guys, why do we got to talk about that? But without further ado, let's just jump into the Red Bull KTM. Now, this isn't going to be very there's going to be opinion sprinkled in here, but guys, just the way that I've been hardwired, especially through college, I'm very analytical. I like to look at stats and whatnot. So there's going to be, some hard numbers thrown in here mixed with some gut feeling stuff to kind of get to the conclusion that we're going to come to. So starting off with Red Bull KTM, we're going to start with Webb. Now, the first thing that I look at when I'm looking at these riders is going to be their age. On the RacerX website, they have a article written on sort of when riders hit their peak performance, and they have a chart and everything. And I believe their peak performance is reached at age 26 and some change. Somewhere in the age of 26 is when these riders are hitting peak performance. So that's something I want to factor in. How old are they when they're riding? So Webb, at the time of the season, is going to be riding at 26 years old. Years racing the 450 class. He's been racing the 450 class for 5 years. Out of his 5 years of racing 450, he's had 19 wins. And out of his 5 years, he has ended 3 of those years on podium. He's gotten first place twice, and he's gotten second place 1 year. So pretty impressive for racing 455 years. 3 of those he's been on podium at the end of the year, and 2 of those first place. That's pretty fantastic. If you look at his stats over the 450, and even if you factor in 250, he's had a very steady climb from when he started 450 to where he is at 450 now. If you just watch his race results, year-end results, everything is just a steady climb from, not doing the best, because there's an adjustment period going from 250 to 450. And he has just had a very fantastic, steady climb all the way up in these past 5 years. A steady climb. He's a very consistent rider. If you watch him ride these races and throughout a season, he's very consistent. You don't have to go watch a race thinking, okay, is he gonna fall back in the pack? Is he gonna crash? he's going to be very, very consistent. I would say easily top 10 every race. Not a lot of crashing going on. He's just a very smooth, methodic rider, and stealthy is a word that I put in these notes because he is very stealthy. There will be races where you're watching a battle going on for first, second, third, whatever it is, and you don't even have him in your mind. And then out of nowhere, he snakes in, he finds the opportunities, he takes the corners. He'll, maybe body check somebody in that corner, but he comes out of nowhere and he will take those first few positions hands down. Now, if you know me and what I like in Supercross, I'm a Honda guy. I am a Ken Roczen fan. So it's not hard to say this stuff about Webb, even though they do have sort of that rivalry that you can see. But I mean, you got to give it to the guy. He's a pretty good rider. Cooper Webb's a pretty solid rider. Moving on next to Marvin Musquin. At the time of season, he will be 32. He's going to be 32 years old racing this season. That's kind of past the peak age. Even more so further down on that downslope. So I don't know about that. So that's definitely going to factor in on his riding. So years racing 450. He's been racing the 450 class for 6 years, 5 years technically, because due to an injury in 2019, he did not race the 2020 season. So he's been in it 6 years, but has experience riding for 5 of those 6 years. Out of those 5-6 years, he's gotten 9 450 wins. And at the end of each of those 5 years that he's raced, he has been on the podium 3 times. He's been second 1 year and third 2 years. So he's been racing the 450 class the same number of years as Cooper Webb, but his stats just aren't as impressive. He has the same number of end-of-year podiums, but his 450 wins overall, he's got less than half. With that being said, these stats are kind of surprising, getting 3 end-of-the-year wins, given what I've seen him do on the track. He's not the most consistent rider like Cooper Webb. His riding is very inconsistent, as a matter of fact, at least for me. I don't watch him like a hawk, like I do other racers, but there have been times where I've seen him fall back in the pack at the end of a race. He finishes not the best. I've seen him get mid-pack at the end of a race, and I've seen him get, pretty high up top 5 at the end of a race. So there's no consistency there, and I think it kind of shows in the number of 450 wins he has. Only 9 out of 6 years. So I don't know. With all that factored in, I don't think he's going to be a top runner for the Red Bull KTM team here. Now, getting into the last rider we're focusing on for Red Bull KTM, guys, it is going to be a newcomer in this team. Aaron Plessinger has switched from Yamaha over to Red Bull KTM for the 2022 season. Reasons why, I'm not too sure. What you have to realize is when it comes to stuff like this, you got the contracts, you have the team's image, and a lot of different things playing into these. So you're not really going to get a full story as to why they switched. But long story short, he seems to be happy with Red Bull KTM now and their practicing that they've been doing. Again, not sure why he made that switch, but a lot of people did. There could be multiple factors. There could be bad blood on the team they left. There could be better deals coming from the team they joined. It could just be coming out of COVID these 2 years. A lot of these riders have had time to think and switch priorities or prioritize different things. So we don't know the reasoning, but we're excited to see how it plays out. So Aaron Plessinger's time of season age is going to be 26 for most of the season. I believe his birthday hits kind of at the end of the season, so he'll be turning 27, but we'll call it 26. He'll be right at that peak age. Years racing 450. He's been racing for 3 years in the 450 class. And at the end of those 3 years, he has not been on the podium once. And total 450 wins, 0. So there could be a few reasons for this, So it's not that he's a bad rider. He was a fantastic rider in the 250 class. But what you have to understand is riders have that time in the 250 class to build up and become great. And once they reach that greatness level or a certain point standing, they switch them over to the 450. And then that's just a whole new ball game for these riders because they're so used to their groove in the 250 class. And then they get thrown over instantly over into a 450 class. Now they have to relearn a bike, the power, racing against a whole new set of people, you know. It's just a whole different game altogether. So almost everybody that's switching from the 250 to 450 have a rough first few years, you know, 1 to 3 years. It's an adjustment period for them. And in that adjustment period, he has had a very steady climb from his debut year to his third year, ending up in 5th in his third year, 5th overall for the season. So that's not bad at all. Your third year, you're getting 5th. You're pretty close to podium right there. You're top 5. So overall, we're excited to see his performance this year. I think the stars are aligning for him. He's gotten that transition few years out of the way. He is at peak age right now, and he's with a new team. And sometimes that might be the shake that some people need to kind of bring out, you know, relight the fire, re-spark something inside of them. So I think this is probably going to be a fantastic year for Aaron Plessinger, honestly. So at the end of each of these team videos, I kind of want to pick a representative for each team and then kind of compare them all in the last video of the series. But right now I'm having a real tough time because you got Cooper Webb, the seasoned vet, peak age, has 3 end-of-season podiums under his belt, 2 first-place end-of-season wins, 19 450 wins overall, and his experience, that's putting him very high. But Aaron Plessinger, fantastic rider in the 250s and now getting his, you know, adjustment period out of the way, joining a new team. I don't know, between the two of them, man, this is difficult. I want to say Cooper Webb just because of the experience, and he's riding high off of these end of season wins, you know. He's riding high off of those. Aaron Plessinger could still have some nerves rattling around in there, not having won a 450 race yet, and obviously not podium at the end of any of the seasons. So I'll give it to Cooper Webb, but dude, don't underestimate Plessinger at all, because he could definitely snake up behind Webb and take that title right from him as far as Red Bull KTM goes. Well, guys, that's all I'm going to cover for this video right now. Those are the top 3 riders that we're looking at for Red Bull KTM in this first episode of the Supercross 2022 predictions. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you subscribe and join us for the next episode. We will be covering Monster Energy Kawasaki. And again, we have some changes going on in that team as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned, subscribe. We are like, I think 10 subscribers away from reaching our goal for the end of the year, which is 500 subscribers. And if you haven't already, go to my Instagram and enter the giveaway, because we will be giving away a car wash bundle once we hit 500 subscribers. So again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.